Meek Mill gotta sacrifice his annuus to the thick-thighs Demon Diddy in order to maintain recognition in this business. What did you do to deserve a $90,000 BMW? You ain't Carisha. And then when you got pregnant, I knew you was like, oh my God. I done gave this ninja a seed. I'm about to come up. We finally got a piece of the pie. Dumb bitch.
I don't hear nobody out there.
Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please like, share, comment respectfully, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. For these, I think these are the Miss Hollywood DC frames in black gradient. I think that's what they call it. And because I'm trying to inspire you all to revisit uptopbeauty.com, all shades are $25. For those of you who have recently joined the book club, whether it be through the YouTube paid membership or the Patreon paid membership, your $5 is so greatly appreciated. Now, let's read Faith Evans, Keep the Faith. It's a good book, y'all. One afternoon, as I was on my way home from school, I ran into a male friend I'd known for years. We chatted briefly and exchanged numbers so we could stay in touch. JT found out about it and was pissed off. Where were you today? He asked. I could tell immediately that he was angry. I went to school and then I came home. I need to talk to you. Come to my house now. Why? I asked. What is your problem? What's my problem? You always walking around talking to other niggas. That's my problem. I rolled my eyes at the phone and took a deep breath. Are you talking about Jonathan? I asked. You know we're just friends. You need to come down here. Take a cab. I don't have no money for no cab. Just call the cab, Faith. I'll pay for it when you get here. Now, I don't know if you can do that shit. No more, okay? But I used to travel the city in cabs. You hear me? And what would happen is, if a dude wanted to see you and suppose he didn't have a car at that time, he would just say, hey, catch a cab to my house. I'll pay for it when you get here. Child, them cab drivers started getting hip. Give me my money up front, ninja. How you gonna want the money up front when we ain't even got there yet? You can put me out at the next corner. I don't care. I want my money up front. Why? Just because of this situation that happened right here. That's $9, the cab driver said. Wait 1 second, I said, as I opened my door. I'm going to get the money right now. JT had these big, wide eyes that would pop out when he was angry. And as soon as I started climbing out of the back seat, the first thing that I noticed was that his eyes were bulging and his mouth was tight. What the fuck is wrong with you? He screamed, grabbing my arm and yanking me the rest of the way out of the car. JT, get off me, I screamed. The cab driver leaned over to the window on the passenger side. Yo, I need my $9, he said. Pay him, JT, I said. Bitch, I ain't paying nobody shit, JT said. Okay, pause. I was never called a bitch. Now, I've been put in situations where I feel like young men have taken advantage of me or disrespected me, but there were some things that were just blatant that I'd be like, oh, you don't like me for real, or you crazy, and there's something wrong with you. So I'm not going to call you no more. Now, it could be a lot of things that I'm not noticing in a relationship where I'm being disrespected. But if a man just comes out and be like, bitch, even when I was young, I didn't really, I never really looked past that. I would be like, okay, I'm not going to call him no more. Because you're not going to call me bitch. Yeah, you might try to fuck my cousin, but I'm not going to do the bitch thing. I struggled to get JT to stop pulling my arm, and then I saw him clench his fist and pull his arm back. I felt like his arm moved in slow motion. It was so wrong and out of place. I was standing right in front of his building in broad daylight on a busy street. I was little more than a child, and there I was with a grown man's fist heading straight for my face. On his pointer finger, JT was wearing a thick gold ring with 3D detailing, because that's what we used to do back in the day. The band of the ring was so wide that it reached from the bottom of his finger to his knuckle. JT punched me in the face like I was a grown man. I fell back and hit the gate that circled the driveway. As soon as he hit me, the cab driver sped off. I was stunned and in pain. I stood there bent over from the waist and held my nose. There was blood pouring through my fingers. What the fuck is wrong with you? I cried out. Why the fuck was you talking to that nigga? He screamed as he pulled me up to a full standing position. He's just my friend, I said. Now I was sobbing. That's all, I swear. JT's eyes were still bulging and his nostrils were flaring in and out. Let me tell you something, to meet or know some of them young girls or my peers that were my age who were in abusive relationships, man, that was never my zhuzh. Okay? Man, I've done a lot of stupid things in my life. You hear me? Hey, I mean, stupid. Very stupid. And put myself in some fucked up positions, okay? But one thing I ain't never done, ever, was to accept somebody putting their hands on me. See, some of these girls, they would be like in middle school, and they would have black eyes from their boyfriends. That's not my zhuzh, baby. I didn't see too much domestic violence in my life to be one of them sitting ducks and sit there and allow some man to whoop my ass. I can't do it. Now, shasta la vista to you ladies who stand in that bullshit. It's just not me. JT's eyes were still bulging and his nostrils were flaring in and out. Let's go, he said, pulling me into the building. He half dragged me through the lobby onto the elevator and then down the corridor to his apartment, cursing me out the whole time. Think I'm playing with you? Talking to every fucking nigga you see, trying to play me out. But by the time we got inside his studio apartment, his demeanor had softened. That ninja is crazy. That don't even sound like bipolar. That sounds like schizophrenia. I am not a psychiatrist. He sat me down on his sofa and went into the bathroom to get tissues for my nose. I sat there, tears streaming down my face, blood pouring from my nose, and just stared out the large floor-to-ceiling windows that faced Broad Street. You know I love you, JT said, as he dabbed my face with hydrogen peroxide. Yeah, I know. He sat down next to me on the sofa, put his arm around my shoulder and pulled me closer. I am sorry. I will never put my hands on you again, he said, a line I would hear many times. And of course I took him back the way many women in abusive relationships do. But it didn't stop. There was a Puerto Rican girl in Harlem who I heard had been taking the train to Newark to come see him. One of my friends spotted her going into his building and told me all about it. Child, oh my God. He beating you up, Faith, but all along he hunting on this old ass Puerto Rican lady. Okay? She said she got into that apartment, saw him and the old Puerto Rican lady. This is not my words. This is Faith words, sitting on the couch. When she took a good look at the lady, she was like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with your eye? Is that Mother Hunchy cocked? Do you have a cock eye, old lady? Bitch, she said, if you don't get your young ass out of here. I looked at the girl closely and then cocked my head to one side. Yo, you got a dead eye or something? Get the fuck out of here with your ugly ass. That really set Terry off, and she lunged at me, Terry, the old lady with the cock eye. We both threw a few punches while JT tried to get in the middle to break it up. At one point, I went into the bathroom to find some cologne so I could pour it in her eyes. What? Oh, in her eye. Maybe the cock eye. She ended up leaving. JT and I continued arguing over why she was dead, girl. She ain't win this one, cause JT almost threw her ass out the 11th floor window. He was about to throw that girl out the window. Faith, girl. It ain't no dick in the world like that, and I'm sure he ain't making you have the big one, girl. Cause only I think they said it's 13 or 30% of women actually get the big one. I was fortunate enough to get the big ones or figure out how to get the big ones, girl. But at that age, you don't know how to get the big ones. Shit, and I'm sure his ass ain't giving it to you. Eventually, he brought me in and then smacked me hard in the face for getting smart with him. And as always, minutes later, he was apologizing to me and begging me not to leave. I was growing up fast, too fast, and I was allowing my personal life to cloud my goals for the future. I knew I did want to just be a typical girl. I didn't want to end up having a baby by JT and then being tied to him for the rest of my life. But he provided a certain level of independence and freedom I'd never had before. I get it, girl. Many times before things can get better, they have to get worse. Before you fully learn a lesson, sometimes it has to really bring you to a point where you can sit back and reflect on it. Making positive changes in your life doesn't happen quickly. One of my major weaknesses has always been that I tend to move a little too fast, especially when it comes to relationships. You mean like you and Stevie J? Okay. I fall in love quickly and I fall in love hard. Girl, you're an air sign. You can't help it. Libras, Geminis, Aquarians, when they ain't being assholes, that's what we do. We fall in love hard. And then the fire signs, Leo, Aries, what's the other fire sign? Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. They give us exactly what we need. Bastards. I fall in love quickly and I fall in love hard. And then it dawns on me that I should have given things a little more thought. If I'd kept just a bit of distance from JT in the very beginning, I would have seen his temper issues and perhaps avoided the physical abuse. You hear that, ladies? Stop being so pressed to jump into relationships, Risa Tisa. You see what happened to the Risa Tisa, but pause. Let me talk about Risa Tisa right quick. Risa Tisa, bitch, I see you. You's a dirty dog. You saw that man as a come up and then you was mad at the fact that you couldn't come up off of him. You was mad that he sold your black ass a dream and you bought it. Meek Mill gotta sacrifice his annuus to the thick-thighs demon Diddy in order to maintain recognition in this business. What did you do to deserve a $90,000 BMW? You ain't Carisha. And then when you got pregnant, I knew you was like, oh my God. I done gave this ninja a seed. I'm about to come up. We finally got a piece of the pie. Dumb bitch. I should have given things a little more thought. If I'd kept just a bit of distance from JT in the very beginning, I would have seen his temper issues and perhaps avoided the physical abuse. But by the time he showed me his true colors, I was already in too deep. When it came to having sex, JT and I were very irresponsible. And soon after he tried to throw me out of his living room window, I found out I was pregnant.
Z.